This is Nick with Build Brothers Roofing and Solar. Started my digital inspection at 8409 Elkhorn Street out here in Lemon Grove. We're on top of an asphalt shingle roof. Before I get going on this, we've got a torch down roof over this addition, this little sunroom. I want to point out, torch down roofs typically last a very long time, but one of the telltale signs that the product has started to go past that life expectancy is when the base cap is starting to show through. So essentially the gravel on this tar and gravel roof is no longer adhering to the tar that was laid underneath it. And once that tar starts to go, and once the gravel starts to come up, then the fiberglass begins to be exposed on that sheet and the waterproofing begins to be affected. Now, this roof seems to be in decent shape right now. What I would suggest is for the homeowner to definitely keep an eye on it. When it is time to replace it, I would recommend them getting rid of this tar and gravel material and replacing it with a TPO material, which is more of a commercial grade product, really good on flat roofs. Does a great job of reflecting a lot of sunlight as well. So the rest of the roof, this is an architectural shingle roof. We've got this really old school ridge vent on this roof. You don't really see this aluminum ridge vent very often. Now, this ridge vent is allowing for exhaust ventilation of the roof. So underneath this vent is basically a trough that was cut along the ridge line that allows that hot air to escape, and then it comes out of the edges of this ridge vent. So it does a great job of adding that exhaust ventilation to the roof. The whirlybird right there, that's another form of exhaust ventilation. Now, my only concern with this ridge vent is the amount of exposed nail heads. Some of them are sealed off, the majority of them are not. So the other thing I'm a little concerned with is it looks like somebody's been walking on this roof and has bent up these ridge vents pretty bad. And that'll allow for water to kind of just sit on top of it and not flow freely. And anytime the water sits on top of any kind of product on a roof, it's usually gonna find its way into the home. So I would recommend that somebody comes out to replace this ridge vent. We can add that as part of our roof tune-up. With that roof tune-up, we're gonna come out, reseal all the penetrations, make sure those are proper. Look for any other exposed nail heads on this roof. If we need to replace any shingles, like down in this corner, then we can do that as well. You can see that we've got some damaged shingles over on this side. You can also see that we've had some replacement shingles on this roof as well. I got a bunch of solar panels on this roof. Those will need to be removed and reinstalled when it is time to re-roof this product. But the product itself is in pretty good shape. I don't see a ton of granule loss. You can see that the fiberglass is just beginning to be exposed, and that's how the shininess comes through. So essentially what happens when the fiberglass is exposed, it means that the oils on this asphalt shingle started to evaporate. As those oils evaporate, the granules deplete when it rains, and then that fiberglass becomes exposed. And that is the first sign that the product is starting to go past that life expectancy. You'll also notice that the product is starting to loosen up a little bit as well. This is another sign that we are on that second half of the product's life. But this material is still in pretty good shape. So as far as estimated lifespan of this roof, I'd give it at least another 5 to 8 years. It could definitely use a tune-up, especially when it comes to replacing these ridge vents. They're not super susceptible to leaks, but if there is one area of this roof that I definitely want to call out, it is this portion, just because of all the exposed nail heads throughout, and then also just how damaged this ridge vent is. So we can get a ridge vent that'll match the color of this roof. Also, it'll look nice and clean. It'll ensure proper waterproofing, and then it will also take care of all those exposed nail heads, as there will be no more exposed nail heads on this roof. But again, nothing else too major on this roof. Sealant around the penetrations is still in good shape. All these are properly waterproofed. I see no issues with that. So again, only work that I'm going to suggest is replacing this ridge vent, and then with that ridge vent we can do a roof tune-up, reseal the penetrations, fix any of these damaged shingles underneath, and this roof will be good to go for another 5 to 8 years. That's it for my inspection.